Don't you know we're part of the royal family of God? The royal diadem. The Spirit of God that permeates on the inside of all of us. And when it's God's time to call, we got to move at God's command. Many of us are looking at the stuff we got when it's just enough. Oh, come on now. The Bible says that the disciples were out with Jesus. And they had about 5,000, not including the men and the children. And the people was hungry, and it was at the end of the day. Jesus had been teaching and talking to the people, and the disciples wanted to send the people away. And Jesus said, don't rebuke the people. What have we had? What do we have? And they brought the report that all they had was 5 barley loaves and 2 fishes. And one of them said, what is that among so many? I want you to know something. Little become much when you place it in the master's hand. You got to bring to God just what you got. When you bring God what you got, God will handle what you need. David took just what he had himself. And the Bible said he got in the battle of one. Sometimes the battle we're trying to get in, there's not but one obstacle in our way. I didn't say 2. I didn't say 3. There's just one obstacle in your way. The Apostle Paul asked, what shall separate us from the love of God? Shall your trials? So what? You got to go through the trial of life, and cancer is your trial. Go through, tell cancer your schedule. All right. Tell cancer your schedule. Tell cancer, now cancer, God has told me you're going to be with me. And since you're going to be with me, I want you to know I'm going to be here Monday. I'm going to be here next year at 9 o'clock. And I'm going to be around the corner here this afternoon. Let it know you can go along for the ride, but I'm healed by his stripes. Some of us got one obstacle in the way. Money. Why you letting money get in the way? Don't you know I've been applying for grants, $1 million in grants. God told me, he said, look here, first of all, you need to just go on to work and money come. You don't hear what I'm talking about. You don't hear what I'm talking about. See, we got to get to the place to understand, if you favor, God makes provision for vision. You don't hear what I'm talking about. You don't have to sit and wait for somebody. Now come on now. All of us go through the process. Get a grant writer, apply for something, wait for the money to come, work the program. No, God said work while it's day, because night coming, can't no man work. We got to work tabernacle. One obstacle. Sometimes the obstacle is yourself. Yes. Cheering everybody is not university oriented. Maybe you just need to get a skilled job and do that. Can I get a witness? And just do that. So what, you didn't graduate from high school? Go back or work your job you're on. Don't get me wrong, I love higher education, amen. I need to finish my master's. But what I'm saying to all of us is sometimes we let obstacles hold us back, and the biggest obstacle is yourself. David did not have to be crowned king to operate like a king. Can I get a witness? Yes. All of us got to understand, no matter what you go through, somebody got to take you through. Yes. Can I get a witness? As we read a few chapters later, David did not know how to walk like a king. David did not know how to talk like a king. But God so fixed it that Jonathan was David's mentor. He taught him how to talk. He taught him how to walk. He taught him how to conduct himself. He taught him how to carry himself. Carry himself how? Like a king. So sometimes when you're in the battle, you got to recognize who you are and who with you. The Bible said David, standing before Goliath, took 3 small stones. And he found one that was shapely enough. And he looked at the battle in a man. And no doubt he might have said to himself, what manner of man is this? But somehow God put in his mindset, my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches. Can I get a witness? The Bible said David put one rock into his slingshot and he began to web it up. Can I get a witness? Somebody ready to fight right now. Somebody ready to tell that job, I'll get another job. Somebody ready to tell that job, I'll start my own business. Somebody to tell somebody else that I can be happy all by myself. Can I get a witness? You got to understand, you got to draw to a place where you can stand by standing up, even if you got to go by yourself. David stood up and got to ramming up his slingshot. And the Bible says that he slung it and hit Goliath right in the forehead. Can I get a witness? Some of us got to understand, unless you kill the head, the body won't die. Oh, come on now. Unless you kill the head, the body won't die. You got to get to the head of the problem. Quit trying to get to the bottom of the problem. Get to the head of the things that's holding you up. Get to the head of the things that's causing confusion in your life. Get to the head of the things that's holding you from your heritage. Because God called you to be so much more. What does he call you to be? 5 things God called you to be. First thing God called you to be is of a royal priesthood. Oh, come on now. You see, just because I'm the priest and I wear a robe, you ought to be holy also. Jesus said, be ye holy, because I am holy. That's first. Second of all, God calls you to a place to reach higher ground. You got to understand who you are. See, if you're going to reach higher ground, you got to realize you're from a royal heritage. Amen. If you're from a royal heritage and you're an heir to salvation and you're a part of Jesus' family, then you need to act like it. You ought to walk like you the king's kids. Or who am I talking to? You ought to talk like you the king's kid. You ought to say to anybody or any problem that gets in your way, me and my Father is a majority. You ought to say to any obstacle in your way, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens. Third, you need to understand where you come from. Come on now. You see, I found out that many of us, we're not like we used to be. There used to be a time we knew who our great-grandmother and our great-great-grandmother was. And then our grandmother. It saddens me that nowadays we don't even know who our grandmothers are. Oh, come on now. I sat in a room the other day. I was in a business and a man walked in. He told me he had saw his grandmother for the first time and she was sitting right over there. Sometimes we let people get out of our reach. And that's wrong, church family. We got to reach for the ones we love. Can I get a witness? Don't let nobody get out of your reach. You got to reach for the ones you love. Because if we're a heritage of family, we got to all go through together. Can I get a witness? See, I say some things when we have funerals. I tell folk, I say, don't cry. Just tell mama, I didn't come to say goodbye nor farewell. I come to tell you I'll see you in the morning. But the truth is, many of us, when we die, we won't be seeing nobody in the morning. Why? Because you're going straight to hell. Why? Because you have not accepted Jesus. See, if you have a royal priesthood, if you have a royal family, if you have a royal heritage, then you can tell death, all you taking me through is just a minor formality. And God had to give you permission to allow me to leave here in the first place. So don't get upset about death. Death is just a formality. Then fourth, you got to understand you've been bought with a price. Jesus paid it all. And all to him we owe. Well, what do you owe him? You can't work this thing out. I tell you, I said last week, you might be the biggest tither in church, but you can't work this thing out. You might be the biggest person involved in all the ministries in church, but you can't work this thing out. You might be the chairman of it, but you can't work this thing out. Don't you know, in order for you to come to a place where you recognize the salvation in your grip, you got to ask for it. You have not because you asked for it. You got to ask for salvation to come into this narrow body. And when salvation does, you can say, I'm saved, sanctified, purchased with a price, and I'm on my way to glory. And that's a good thing. Why? Because we're all supposedly on our way. And then last, I need you to stand on your feet, church family. Then last, look at a neighbor. Say, neighbor. Neighbor. I want you to know I got a reserved seat in heaven. And I'm on my way. I got a reserved seat in heaven. And I'm on my way. My name might be Tim now, but I got a new name. Why? Because I got royal blood in me. And because I got royal blood in me, I got the ability to fight giants. I got the ability to be be long lasting. I'm like ever ready. I'm going to always be able to last.